Hey everyone, this is Senior Stationery and today's review is on the super rare, and I'm very proud to present this particular eraser, the Radier Pen from Pelikan. Thank you, Mr. Legoman. It's nice to see that you're doing well. Stay safe, my friend. So let's see. The Radier Pen, or as we should call this model, as it's printed here on its barrel, the Pelikan SX25, Germany. This pen was made in Germany. This on their catalog was launched around 1981, and it won the IF Design Award in 1982. So this is an award winner pen eraser, we could call it. This is one of those earlier pen erasers from Pelikan. They also have other models like the Click Eraser, which is currently sold, I believe, still sold. What's interesting is, well, let's take a look at its design and style. Under photos on their catalog, and I've seen photos, very hard to find, but some photos. Apparently, the original version had the clip and the tip of the clip mechanism, which goes all the way inside, as you can notice from the style of this one, was black, and the body was solid yellow. So this version is probably from some time later on in the 80s, if not in the early 90s. I've seen this same version in blue clip, apparently yellow clip, so in primary colors. That's however I've seen it. This is a very rare and long forgotten gem from Pelikan. I got mine brand new. Very hard to find, but I was lucky. Fully packaged, so it came like this. Eraser pen with its strip. And it explains how for graphite color pencil is the pink rubber, and the blue is for apparently for ballpoint and fountain pen. So at least for the erasable ink. So just look at this refill. I mean, oh my god, like this is like super thin. This is really rare. I once saw on eBay they were selling the box with, I think it was like 20 or 12 strips, and I've never seen it again. And it was all probably, I remember it was being sold in Hungary, but as much as I've searched, I've never seen another one like this. So I'm lucky to have this spare, brand new. And the pen comes with one, and it comes with a spare one, at least in this blister one that I got. I'm guessing doesn't say the year it was made. We know it was, if any German can help us, 159 Deutschmark. I don't know if that's expensive or not. And and you can see the instruction. We have the illustration of how to work it. This is the model of the pen, and this is the name of the refill, made in Germany, Hanover, Germany. Let's take in consideration that this pen was sold around, it was launched in 1981. In 1982, it won the IF Design Award. And for what I've researched or tried to look online, it seems it was produced around until the early 90s, or until probably around 1990, and then after that it was dropped. Probably didn't did so well, or something else came later. But in concept looks nice. I mean, just look at the design. It's really interesting if we take a look. And this helps us. It helps us that this is a translucent body one, so we can appreciate better the body. Well, first of all, just look at the barrel. The barrel is fully rectangular. We have the printing here of the brand, so we know it's a Pelikan item. We see the full on top. There's no hollow, or here's where you just click or push, and it has the tweezer type inside, holding the eraser. And notice it's really basically just two pieces of plastic. If I pull out the eraser, you just have basically the tweezer, which we can pull out, and the body. But what's particularly interesting of the body, just look at molding the whole mold. It's like a making like a zigzag or S shape, and by pushing it works the same as a spring. So just notice that how simply they made it, so they didn't need to have a spring, and works the same. Just take a look, pushes like a spring. The thing is, this doesn't work like a push out eraser as other ones that we know, like a click eraser, the Staedtler Mars plastic, or even which other ones, even the Sanford version ones, the speed eraser, the rotring tiki, because they somehow had a more efficient mechanism that pushes out the eraser. In the case of this one, we just have two basically pieces of plastic, but still by the style it works as a spring, which is good, but you need to manually pull out the eraser. If you have to be very careful not to keep it all the way in, or erase to the point where you don't have any more, because then you have a trouble pushing it out. So you have to be careful with that. That's something I need to point you out. Also, another thing, if you want to use the blue ink strip, you need to pull out the eraser and put it back again manually, and then you use it to erase the ink, and then you go back to again to its pink graphite one. The interesting thing is, this pen was launched in 1981, and if we take a look even at its refill, well, what does this remind us of? Well, a very other common and iconic eraser, the famous Pelikan BR40. This is a current one. Look, it has the barcode one. This is made in Mexico. I believe they're currently probably just made in Mexico nowadays, I believe. We have the blue ink part and the pencil type. So if we take a look, they pretty much are resemble. Even the slanted shape is the same. So this is an interesting and follows the shape of style of this iconic eraser and very well known. So that's an interesting thing and a nice touch to this pen eraser. But how does this work? How well does it? Sorry, how well does it work? Oh, and just clarifying, I don't know what type of fountain ink or ballpoint ink and over which surfaces does this blue eraser erase, because I think here on the packaging this is misleading. What I've noticed, and if everyone has always wondered, what do we use this blue part, what ink and where does this work and erase? Well, let me show you finally, if you always had that question. Here I have plastic, well here locally called plastic paper. I think in English you call this vellum paper, or for China ink and for technical drawing. And here I use another Pelikan item, the Technoliner disposable technical drawing pen. And this is a very fine, super fine point, the 0.2. So I wrote this the same for you to see and compare how, let me just move this a little bit, how the blue ink works. If you always have been through like how and where do you use this blue, well, basically you use it for this. It's for technical drawing, if you always have wondered. Let's see. I mean, this is not like the best eraser, but I mean, for technical drawing, I will suggest you better use the rotring. But again, I guess people don't really use this blue one that much. And as you can see, it's very dusty. That's something that I really don't like about this eraser. In general, I have always thought this eraser, the BR40, as a really low quality and very cheap one. It's fairly available everywhere, but look, it's just so messy. Too much dust. But if we move away our dust, oh my god, this is too much dust. Okay. There. Well, it's fairly, sorry for the mess, it's way too messy, but it worked. Look, it's erasing the China ink. And this is a disposable pen. I don't want to imagine what happens with a Staedtler China ink or rotring China ink and on a fancy reusable technical pen. So this is just a simple disposable pen. Now let's take a look with the Radier pen from Pelikan. We switch the eraser. There, I used it a little bit just to try it earlier. Here we go. Now let's do erasing. Still quite messy. Pelikan just likes to make those ink erasers quite messy. Oh, it's going way too quickly, more than I expected. Oh, another thing on the ergonomics, it has this 3 lines of grippy part. If you look at sideways, you'll notice. So you can grab it more, have a better grip, or just grab it from the front or from the sides, whichever works for you. So here it is. Keep erasing. Look, the ink one's going way too quickly, so this is not very convenient, to be honest. Very messy, still messy, just like the block eraser, and it easily pushes back, something that I don't like at all. Look, just look, I'm erasing slanted and it's going all the way inside, so no, this is just a big no. Wow, this is just too much. Okay, let's stop here. As you can see, it does erase. There's still some shadow. I need to be more harsher, I guess. And this is a German-made eraser. The other one's Mexican-made. But I guess the formula must be same or consistent between Pelikan. And I still having a hard time erasing with no shadow. Look, still dusty. You get a minor shadow. So I guess only on emergencies, and just try to avoid any mistakes with China ink. Just look at this dust. Like this is horrible. I don't think that the yellow rotring eraser makes this much dust and mess. But well, if you had always wondered what's this blue eraser for, it's for this China ink on vellum paper. So mystery solved, if you had that question. Now back to our eraser, and let's take away this messy page. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, we still have some dust. Oh my, horrible eraser. Horrible. I don't like Pelikan erasers, to be honest. So back to our pink graphite side. Look, there's even dust on the tweezers. Oh my god, like this is way too dirty and dusty. Oh well, here it is. Now, how well does this erase, or how easily will erase pencils? Let's take a look. Here I have a few different ones. Here we have a discontinued wood grade, which is basically a clean wood with just minor varnish. I believe this one's made in Mexico. It's really lovely. I really like the clean wood look. So this is a Ticonderoga wood grain. This is HB grade. We have let's take a look. Castell 9000. This is a 2B. So this is a Castell 9000 2B. And we have Cretacolor Fine Art Graphite 2H. Cretacolor Fine Art Graphite 2H. And another last one. Let's see. Let's grab this one, a way more darker one. A Staedtler Tradition 5B. So this is a Staedtler Tradition 5B. Okay, let me move the camera a bit. Here we go. Now let's see how well does this pen eraser erases. Let's see. Well, still messy. Pelikan erasers are kind of well known for being messy. But this erases, well, there's some minor shadowing, as you can see. HB, where it used to be HB on the Ticonderoga. Let's check the Faber-Castell. This is 2B from Faber-Castell. Still some shadow, kind of similar to the HB, so I guess it's consistent. I mean, for a school grade pen eraser. Let's take a look at Cretacolor 2H. This is harder erasers better, as you can see. 2B is a little bit hard, and the HB, which looks quite dark for Ticonderoga, there's some minor shadow. Now let's check the last one, a Staedtler 5B, a very dark one. How well does it work? Shadow. Still some noticeable shadow. So this one's messier. You cannot use it that much for fine art pencils or very dark ones. For technical, yes, works good for technical. Probably was meant maybe this for technical. Dark ones, not too dark, it could probably work in an emergency, but then again, this is a fine pencil, a 9000. I don't know if it will work on a Prismacolor, turquoise, or any intermediate quality pencil. This being some of the finer ones, will work fairly okay. Here at Ticonderoga, HB. It works okay. I mean, for a school pencil, it's okay. Minor shadowing. But then again, this Ticonderoga, I'm noticing is a little kind of darker. I don't know why, the lead. But I guess it's still acceptable. So, this is the Pelikan Radier Pen, or the SX25, as its code name. Interesting, very rare piece of history from Pelikan, as well as the mechanism, simple but effective. Oddly shaped refills strip, again inspired on the famous BR40. So this is probably one of the most rare pieces that I have from Pelikan, and I hope you enjoy this review from a very rare and extremely hard to find item in design, both design and stationery history, as one of Pelikan's, or if not the earliest, pen eraser model from them. They will eventually make some in the 90s, all the way to right now currently, but it's interesting to point out how this item, this little small, as you can notice with my palm of my hand, it's not that big. It's thick, but it's kind of short. It's an interesting piece of design and stationery history from Pelikan. And let's point out the fact that when this pen eraser won its prize, the IF Design Award 1982, that was the same year that Pelikan went bankrupt. And I believe after the 1982 bankruptcy, they were taken, or they became, there were Swiss holders, so they changed their holding or their headquarters to somewhere in Switzerland, I believe. They still produce in Hanover, where it was born, but it was moved to Switzerland. And then later, eventually to today, Pelikan is now Malaysian. So just as a interesting fact on the company. Again, this is the Radier Pen. I hope you like this review. Stay tuned for more interesting items that I will be posting. Please, everyone, stay safe, be patient. Things will get better eventually. Thank you for watching, and remember, feel free to make any comments. And thanks for sharing your time with me. Bye-bye.